shooter all day long. I can't believe that just happened. That was my opportunity to shoot a buck that was worthy of going on the wall. And my bow was 5 feet away. God dang it. This morning. So, statistically speaking, that was my 6th buck to see this season. And he was my first shooter. I'm pretty bummed out about that too. He came in on me when I was running my ropes up the tree, and I think he came in thinking it was a buck making a rub, because it sounded a lot like rubbing on a tree. I had my bow like 5 yards away from me. What makes matters even worse is I took my GoPro off my head so I could throw the rope. And when he came in, I didn't have the GoPro on my head. So I'm pretty bummed out about that, because he was a shooter. He was at least this wide. It was 7:05, so it was still a little dark. But he looked like he might have been an 8 or a 10 point. Had a real nice wide, tall rack. Big buck. So, even though I'm pretty bummed out, because you hunt all season, you work so hard, you hunt all season just for that opportunity. just really sucks. This is our third time hunting this particular spot. We've pushed up further in, but we're right next to the road. And I shot that last buck here back in October. And then this morning I had a shooter come through right at the crack of light. I was down on the ground, and he just came in. He's 30 yards away from me. And I know I'm recounting something I've already said, but it just sucks to have worked as hard as I've worked this season to have that opportunity, and then it just fall through like that. And my bow be literally 5 yards from me, and I just froze up. I should have immediately, when I saw him, I should have stepped behind the tree and reached down and grabbed my bow, and I made the decision to squat down instead. But the problem was, he was coming. He was going this way. He's coming from that way. He's going this way. And he literally just walked right to me. And I'm sitting down there on the ground, on my knees. And I can't move. I mean, I was still. You can see the frost coming off my mouth. And he basically just walked right up to me. Got within like 15 yards of me and then stopped. Stared at me for 5 minutes. He decided to turn around and go back that way. Anyway. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes since that happened. So we'll see if we can't turn this on around. Today I'm just gonna toe bleed. I'm just gonna try bleeding softly. Nothing too intense or crazy. He's probably over there 150 yards. Anyway, in my experience, I've hunted every weekend this season, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And back in Oklahoma, when I hunt, I'll take 2 weeks off and hunt 2 weeks straight all day. And in my experience, I normally only get 1 or 2 shot opportunities at a shooter buck per season, and that is hunting a lot to get those opportunities. So what I'm trying to say here is, when I say I'm really bummed out about that and that failure and that mistake, is because I know if I'm lucky, I will get 1 more opportunity this season. That's how rare that encounter is for an actual shooter buck that is worthy of putting on the wall, getting a full shoulder mount, 140-inch deer, 140-inch plus deer on public. You're lucky if you see one of those once or twice with a bow. It is what it is. So. cashed in. So, we'll see you guys later. thick it is. And again, the buck was right. He was standing right there this morning. And what he did was, he came from over there, and he worked his way. Stopped right there. And I was literally sitting right there. And my bow was on the other side of the tree, right there. So, the deer are definitely moving this morning, but we need them to step into the shot zone. So basically, I got to the tree, I get in there, I can't find a tree they're all like that. I can't find one that's got a limb that I can throw over. So it takes me a little bit longer to get in the stand than I would have liked. So I take my GoPro off. Because I'm throwing the rope. It took me 2 throws to get it over the limb. So I took it GoPro off because it's in the way. When I was trying to throw it, I stuck it in my pocket. And then I get the rope over the limb, and then I start to run my rope up, and I'm like getting stuck on a bunch of little limbs. And I'm just sitting there the whole time thinking, man, should have brought my climbing sticks. There is no perfect climbing method. The time it took me to get that rope up that tree, sitting there like shimmying it like this, going around limbs and stuff. So I'm like running up the tree. It sounds like a deer making a rub on a tree when that rope goes up. It sounds like maybe like a deer, like a buck rubbing on a tree is what I was thinking. I'm running that up and I look to the left, and I mean, it's just now getting light enough to see. So I had turned off my headlamp. Just getting light enough to see. I didn't need my headlamp. I look up, and about 35 yards from me, there's a deer standing there. And I didn't know it was a buck at the time. So it's standing there. It's coming right at me. And it hadn't seen me yet, so I dropped down. Squat down real low. My bow's on the other side of the tree. And I'm like, crap. Man, this ain't good. And I'm not even thinking about my cameras. I got, a camera on my side, and I got the camera in my pocket. He gets about 25 yards from me. When I see that rack, I was like, oh God, it's a shooter. Shit. What are you doing, babies? Where's your sister? Look at her go. Are you feeling good? Hi, sneakers. Getting your energy back? Legs healing up nicely? She's not as fast as she was, but she's still booking. So he comes up on me, and he's like, I kid you not. Like, I guess I picked the tree, and I was in the dark, so I didn't know this. But I guess I put that tree right on that trail. That main trail. And he was just beelining to me, and he got about 15 yards and was just coming right at me. And then he stopped, and he's like, what is that? And at that point, I was pretty much, don't move. What I should have done, I locked up. I don't know why. I made a mistake. I didn't
I didn't think clearly. I got excited. What I should have done was when I first saw him, I should have started like duck walking to the other side of that tree. Like got low and started duck walking. But it was dead quiet. He was only 30 yards away from me, so he would have heard me. But he might not have saw me. And if I could have got to my bow, I could have potentially put an arrow in him. Because like when our exchange ended, he was literally like from me to Mars. He was that close. And he gave me like 4 broadside opportunities during that time. Because he stood there for 5 minutes and just stared at me. And then he'd drop his head and he'd turn around and he'd look right back at me. And my bow is like on the other side of the tree, laying on the ground. It's like maybe 5 yards from me. And I don't know, when I saw it, especially when I saw his rack, my heart just sunk. Because I was like, damn. And I guess my thinking was, maybe he will walk, if I hunker down here, squat down, and don't move, maybe he'll go on by and I can hunt this spot again without I think my thinking was don't blow it. Because my thinking was there's no way you're going to shoot him, so do what you can not to get exposed. So I literally just I was about a foot from the tree and I was hanging on my rope. I just wrapped that rope around my arm and then I leaned into it and kind of balled up. You want to go walk in them woods? You want Daddy to walk you in the woods? I'll walk you in the woods. Hold on. I don't want to get pee on my hands. You peed on the lead. Let me get the other end. Time I get up and stand, it's 8 a.m. And I just got in the stand. I got all the gear set up. It's like 8 a.m. You gotta slow down. For a 3-legged dog, you sure do move quick. She wants to follow her nose. You gonna take me to something? That's the 3rd time hunting it. Last time I hunted it, there were like some 20 some odd hunters in here. And so I didn't see jack diddly crap. I had a buck calling to me, but he never came through because there was just so many people driving up and down this camp road and whatnot. So he never came over like the first one did. Come on now, quit that. You got an itch? Come here. You got an itch? You need me to get your itch? If you need a scratch, you just come to Daddy. Hold on. Well, you guys made a mess of the back seat, didn't you? Of course, we got there late this morning, but if we would have been there 30 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have stopped at Whataburger and got breakfast. And if we'd gotten out on time as planned, I would have basically been up in my tree stand and been settling in when he showed up. If I would have had 20 more minutes, if I would have been ahead of him by 20 minutes, I would have got a shot at him. Probably would have killed him. But that's how it goes.